Welcome back to Beauty Bee and to my second for the month. Get ready with me using my Pan Those eyeshadows. Well, my last one was quite neutral. If we're looking at the little palette that I had, I believe that it focused exclusively on these four shades. Today we're going like full 1980s prom dress meets Sleeping Beauty's blue to pink dress and sticking pretty much exclusively to this rightmost column. So I think we're actually going to start though with some more skin prep because I don't know what it is about this lighting plus this camera, but I find pores that I didn't even know I had under my usual lighting. So I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I already have some moisturizer on. I've been trying to use up this little thing from Herbivore. This is their Aquarius Pore Purifying Clarity Cream, which is a lot of name. I don't think it's quite right for my skin type, but it's fine for the morning. Certainly I would never pay Herbivore prices for that. However, that is very much not the point of the video. Also, to acknowledge the elephant in the room, yes, I did cut off like 5 inches of my hair. It's been a few days at this point. I've been kind of doing the, post cutting your own hair cleanup slowly over a period of 4 days. I feel like I do that when I get my hair cut professionally also, but sometimes you just realize after the fact that this little piece of hair actually doesn't curl as much as maybe the hairstylist thought, so you need to do a little trimming there, etc., and I think it's at a point where I'm happy-ish with it. I don't particularly want to have short hair. The real impetus behind this haircut was that I want in the not too distant future to no longer have bangs, and then I want to grow out my hair. So I figured getting my bangs getting the rest of my hair much closer to the length of my bangs would shorten that process, and I'm not unhappy with the short-term effect, so I guess it's all gonna be good. I don't care very much about my hair, honestly. It's one of those things where I just figure it'll grow back. What else matters? I'm just using a white to set down that eyeshadow primer. And then we can finally get into things where I'll actually need to talk about what is going on my face. Very satisfying little click there. So I think that what we're going to start out with is some pink in the crease. And for that, I'm going to use just a pretty big blender brush. I'm going to dip into a tiny bit of this brown and then really load up on the pink. I find that this brown really just mellows out that pink just a hair. I mean, I don't want a lot of mellowness because, again, 1980s prom dress here, but... And then I'm just going to put that all over my crease, basically all the way up to my brow bone, or not all the way up to my brow bone, all the way up to my brow, all the way across my crease. We are not going for subtle today. Repeat on the other side. So I think you can tell that even though, we're putting this over a pretty large area, I'm really not building up the color to be too insane. I think that's going to help because, I mean, I do actually have things to do today in my life. I don't need, you know, to end up with a look that I absolutely would not wear to the grocery store. So, we have the crease and the brow bone and everything else figured out. Now let's transition to the lid, and the lid is going to be just this blue. This is the shade Screwball from Luxie, and let's see if it'll show up on camera. But this looks blue full on, but there's quite a bit of pink iridescence to it. I think maybe you're getting a hint of that. I cannot get this to show up very well. On camera it looks super shifty and fun in person, but on camera I just can't make it happen, and I don't know why. But I'm just going to put that all over my lid, and hopefully at some point you will be able to see the shiftiness. You'll be able to see some pink and some purple. Both of these shades that I've used, actually all three of the shades that I've used so far, did get pulled in my Poreless eyeshadows. I'm doing the project this year in a way where I pulled 4 shades and then I just grabbed an additional 5 shades out of my collection to pad out my palette. But I only have goals to hit on the 4 shades that I randomly selected. I mean, we're only like 2 weeks in so far, but so far I feel like it's been working pretty well. Been really enjoying it. Okay, so I put that all over my lid. Also a little bit in the inner corner. I wasn't really intending on that, but it's fine. I was going to end up putting some kind of iridescent shifty shade in my inner corner anyway. So why not just skip the middleman? Next up, I'm going to take a little pencil brush and I'm going to go into this deep teal shade. And I'm going to run that under my lower lash line as well as deepen up my outer corner just a little bit with it. So I'm going to basically just use it in this V shape right here in the outer corner. Put it into my crease just a little bit. I will do some blending later to make that a little less patchy, but you get the basic idea. And then I'm going to trace that along the outer 2/3, I would say, of my lower lash line. I don't want to connect it in the middle, or I don't want to connect it in my inner corner. Deep blue teal is really not the color that I want in my inner corner. So repeat on the other side. Get my hair out of the way so I'm not ending up with blue hair. Though actually, speaking of blue hair, I did pick up from Lime Crime's clearance some blue and pink just spray-on hair color. I think those would be really fun to play with. They were really inexpensive. I figured it would be a fun way to play around with a little bit of color. I want to say that they ended up being like $12 shipped. And I mean, obviously I'm going to be careful that first time I use it to make sure that it will come off easily. But they're supposed to be washable in like 1 or 2 shampoos. So I think that's the kind of thing that I could just use on the weekend and still look semi-professional for work. So I just have a clean, tiny little detail crease brush that I'm using to go over my outer V and sort of marry that in with the pink in the crease. And once I have that, I think that I am good as far as straight shadow goes. I had kind of thought that I was going to put the silver in the inner corner, but I don't feel like it's necessary. I am, however, going to go into this Super Shock because I'm working on it in another project and I would like to, see progress. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of that, taking it on my finger and putting it in my inner corner. This is the shade Ice Dream from ColourPop, and it is a white base with a lot of pinky purple and blue iridescence to it. Can I get it to show? Not really in the pan, but I think you can see on my eyes the amount of shift that it has. It's lovely. It's such a cool color. And I'm going to go in with just a little bit more of Screwball because I feel like that has faded just a hair over the period that I've been getting ready. And I want that to really pop. So I will put on some mascara and I will fill in my brows with a brow pencil, and then we will figure out what on earth I can do with the rest of my face to go with this eye look. Alright, so we have so much mascara on, and I've filled in my brows, and now comes the real question. Do I just continue with this bright all over my face, or do I try to tone things down a little bit on the rest of my face to keep this a little bit more everyday? And honestly, I'm not sure. You know what? I have this little lipstick from Melt that I have not yet worn. And it's called Pink Heels. And I feel, I don't know, I want to use this. So let's see what this ends up looking like. I am applying this over some EOS balm. Oh yeah, we're going full 1980s. This will be fun. By the way, this made me think, when I first started my channel, I did a couple of videos that were like vintage inspired tutorials. They were not sort of a costumey take on 60s or 80s makeup, but they were looking at a very specific image of a celebrity. Could I get something similar-ish, kind of get the same vibes from their everyday-ish look? And I think I'm going to start doing something similar. So if you have any particular requests, or if you would like to see those videos, let me know, because encouragement is always appreciated. And then I think I'm going to go, let's just make this, really get some progress on my project pans. I'm going to go with a little bit of California mixed with this Color Icon Baked Blush from Wet n Wild, which is a super glowy pink. I think I'm just going to get a mixture of the two of those and pop that right here on my cheek. Not quite on the true apple, but just a little bit further back. I feel like that can sometimes be a little bit more flattering for me because I do have quite a bit of redness right in the center of my face recently. I don't think I actually got any of the Wet n Wild that time around. Okay. And yeah, I feel like me of a year ago, maybe not a year ago, me of 2 years ago is rolling her eyes at me right now and saying something about full clown, but I kind of like it. It's fun. Is it something I'm going to wear to work? Absolutely not. I do like the lip though. I could see myself wearing that quite a bit. So, I think that about brings us to the end of things. I am going to be filming at least one and probably 2 more videos today, so hopefully you like this look as much as I do because you're going to see quite a bit of it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like how this turned out, and I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you do. Thanks again, and I really hope that I will see you all next time. Bye!